Oh, man.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Rally Podcast. I'm Mike White here with Shaun Boyer and Logan Cornelius. We're very excited for this one. We will be talking a lot about the 2021 roundnet season and specifically the first Tour Series event of the year this Saturday in Winter Haven, Florida.
It's time.
It's time. It feels weird. It's been a long time coming. And now we're just a couple of days away. It also feels weird because I feel like I should be going. It's like it's such a big event. I don't know. It's not really not that crazy. 18 Premier Division, big contender division, but to me it just feels like a big moment for roundnet and the SRA roundnet. So anyway, let's start talking about it. First thing, the Premier Division. I will share that. So this Premier Division, 8 teams. So what will be happening here with the new format is that those pools will be 2 pools of 4. And actually, which, Logan, maybe you don't know this either, that top 2 from each pool.
I did know that.
Will be making the top bracket, and then the other 4 will be in the bottom bracket. So
I knew this. I swear something changed. I knew this. I was all up in the know, and all of a sudden,
so for context on Logan is I shared that there will be 2 pro bids, which means that if you place top 2 at this event, you'll be automatically qualified for the pro division at nationals. Logan swore it was 1, but I'm letting him know it's 2.
I don't know. It was 2. I would have just gone to every event and just get that pro bid at every event and just decline the ones that I'm not going to use. But
Yeah, but you have to get top 2 to get the pro bid. So.
I was going to get top 1, like I've always done.
Oh yeah, you can't get top 1. You have to get top 2.
Oh shoot.
So anyway, with that, this will be cool because we have 8 teams. Like I said, 2 pro bids to give away. But only 2 teams that we think would accept those pro bids, that being Naughty Roundnet, Jarrett Rouse, and Ryan Fitzgerald, and highly calculated Dan Abrams and Ravi Kandula. Anyway, I'm going to open the floor. I would love to hear you guys got any thoughts on this Premier Division.
I'm gonna pull up the full team list right now because I got 3 teams in front of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it sounds like there's 5 other teams that Mr. Gasaway is just disrespecting. I don't even have those on my list.
We're going to let people speculate the 3rd team that he put on the list.
Yeah. All right.
Well, also, like I hear what you're saying about there's maybe only 2 teams going that we think are going to be full season teammates. But if a team that may not be your full-time teammate, you 2 get a bid, you're going to have a hard conversation of like, all right, are we a thing now? Because we're now in the pro division of nationals. Like that's pretty lucrative. You don't walk away from that lightly.
It could be pretty funny if like it's getting later in the season. You're like, oh, we haven't qualified yet. Oh, I still have this one though with this other person. Yeah, that could totally happen.
Okay. Hey, I mean for real, like that's like I don't know. That's kind of a ballsy move to like get the bid and then turn it down. But I guess we'll find where people.
Well, you don't have to turn it down until September.
Oh, you don't have to turn it down until September?
No. So how this works for everyone with the context, there are 10 Tour Series events. At each event, the top 2 at each division of the top 2 at each event will earn a pro bid. And then later in the year, as nationals approaches, those teams have to say, yes, we're going to nationals, or no, we're not. So at max, we could have 20 teams accept their pro bid, and we'd have a 20-team pro division. It could be the chance that no one accepts them, and then we'll fill the rest in on points. If we're at 16 or less, we'll fill to 16. If we're at 17, 18, 19, we will fill to 20. So you can either get a pro bid at one of these events or qualify on points. So they don't have to accept. So that's the big thing is these are just coming in. So, you know, we may, right? A team may get multiple pro bids over the course of the year. I mean, that's very likely.
So if the pro bid doesn't fall, like it's either somebody either top 2 accepts him or it goes to points at the end.
Yes. So you have to get, so first is a lock, right?
That is
second is interesting. Second, because there is a true second. And so let's shape this. Team A wins. Team B comes in second. Team C won the third place game. But turns out that Team B didn't beat Team C in the semis. They haven't played yet. So they will play, and Team C has a chance to beat that second place team to take that bid. So it's a little true second system.
That's going to be more exciting than the finals.
I think it will. If it really matters. I also wonder if there will be cases where I would say in this example, Naughty wins. I'm thinking of another team. Cool Whip takes second, and Highly Calculated takes third. I could see it where Cool Whip is like, highly calculated. You can take it. You can beat us. You know, or maybe if people aren't friends, they'd be like, nope. I hate that popped into my head, but like I could see that happening. It's like
so
we don't need this. We don't need this. Yeah.
Man, I see now. I kind of wish.
But that's also so. But letting them, to counter my own thing, by letting them qualify, you're taking one spot away for you via points if you need it, if it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you don't want to give anything easy.
I mean, like if Logan was in the third place game, I wouldn't let him. But if Shaun was, I would. I'd let Shaun have it.
That's more of a Logan thing.
Never lost a third place game at an SRA tournament. Write that one down.
Write it down.
Yeah. See, now I kind of wish like you had like a week to accept the bid. And so then it's like, hey, you get this pro bid with someone that's not your partner. And then it's like, hey, where's your loyalty at? You just cut ties and you have that pro bid, but that would add for a lot.
I agree. As a board member, we'll share that logistically that is very complicated.
That's fair. I feel like logistically that'd make it easier because like then the pro bid is accepted right there. But I guess if something changes at the end of the year,
what if I qualify with Logan and then later qualify with Shaun? I guess you don't have to. I later qualify with Shaun.
Then it would fall to points.
But I can't qualify with Shaun because I already accepted with you.
Exactly. Yeah. So then if you got top 2, then that bid would just fall to points automatically.
So maybe could have worked. I like this system. Maybe next year we'll have 8. So it's just to 8 events. So it's just a 16, but that's just speculation. I like this. I like just having it be just not cut and dry, but just, this is what you got to do. You got to get a top 2.
It is easier. It makes sense. It's a lot more competitive. Looking at this list now, I think I have who I think my top 3 will be.
All right. Would you like to share with the class?
Sure. I'll share it. And this is in no particular order at this point. I'm going to throw in my top 3 as Coleman and Frederick, Ravi and Dan. And then for my third, I'm going to throw in Noah and Garrett. They're at 3.
Dude, you're insane.
Not third place, but those are my top 3.
Hey, Shaun, please elaborate.
I just don't know how you wouldn't put Naughty in this top 3.
So here's the thing. I was trashing a lot of the Texas youngsters for sleeping on Naughty earlier in this year. But I felt like I was so betrayed by their performance. And I know it was like, oh, all these lips, Texas lips, blah, blah, blah. But I was disappointed by that performance. And let me say, like, I hope I'm wrong. Like, I'm a big fan of Jarrett and
No. You can't walk back and say you hope.
No,
you're
you
wrong.
hate Jarrett.
No.
That's what you just said.
I hope they do well, but I don't think they're going to. I don't think they get top 3.
So you think one tournament is indicative of how some really veteran players are going to perform the rest of the season?
I don't think it's indicative.
Hey, I'll remind you, Strange Embrace 2016 opened the season losing to Phenomenbomb.
Well, the season hasn't opened yet, so it's the perfect time for Naughty to drop a game like that. So we'll see. I hear you.
It's a disconcerting little event. I also, it's so challenging. They're also, just to talk about Naughty, they're so different from every other team. Like, not the great serves, but not the craziest serves. But when I was talking with Fitzy, it's just about, can they convert in the other way? I think given them a little more time with the no hit zone, are there touches there? And it's just so funny to think about, because I think of them as different than every other team. And it's kind of is similar to Logan, where it's like, I actually think they could be just incredible. But I also see where Logan's coming from, where it's like, these other guys with this different style than them, maybe that style doesn't match up. I don't think, I'm not going to put them in my top 3, although it's hard. I don't know. It's really open.
Hey, just make a decision. Who's your top 3, Mike? I want to hear it.
I'm going to put my faith in them and put them in my top 3. But truthfully, it may set the tone for the season for what we're going to see. If their defense can overtake some of these stronger players.
Shaun, who obviously
strong players.
You always have Naughty in your top 3. Who's your other 2?
I have Naughty. I would like to put Ravi and Dan. And you guys might not agree, but I would put Cho and Chu.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. No. So you're putting them in your top 3?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
I love this because I have no idea. I'm going off some stuff I've been watching, but for the most part, I don't know. Not that I don't know. I'm just excited to see. I've been hearing a lot of Garrett hype as well.
He's the sitting number 1 in Texas, so we'll see if he backs that up on a national stage.
Yeah, we'll see. That's different. Like, playing at an SRA event is different. There is that added pressure. It'll feel very real. Garrett's coming into the day with the lowest points out of all of them. I think he has like 4 points.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But like 2020 was a crazy year, and I'm truthfully just no idea where we're gonna end up. I think that's what makes this the most exciting. I don't really know where all these teams stand in relationship to each other. I trust a lot of people that do, but for me, I don't even know. Like, I've been playing a lot with Ravi and Dan, and I think they're incredible. But they're the best 2 players I've played in 2 years. So I don't know where that all stacks up. So selfishly, if they do really well, I'll think it's all due to me and that I'm actually pretty good. But it's all wide open. It's really hard to tell, especially from film, how strong everyone is.
Yeah.
I think too, now that the Tour Series is back, it's like we can finally start seeing teams consistently play each other at events where something's on the line. And I think the true colors of each of these teams and pairings are going to start to show. And I mean, even your point about Naughty, it's a good one, because I think they're a great example of how player roles and sort of individual skill sets can either come together or go apart. And I think a lot of people would say Jarrett and Ryan have very similar skill sets and are known for similar styles of play. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? And we're not really sure how that'll work out or how that will turn into like a duo compared to just individual great players.
Yeah, the gut feeling that I think Logan and I are getting is that it may not be the best combo. Yeah. We've never seen a team like that. We've never seen just, hey, these are 2 guys who are really, really known for their defense. Let's put them together and see what happens.
And I mean, now
there are teams like that, but it's a very extreme case.
Yeah, now is a more prime opportunity for that. But I'm just afraid that it's going to be a lot of flashy plays and big ups, but just not going to have, not necessarily have the ability to finish, because they both have the ability to finish. But it's just with this, there's not going to be finishing in there, because when you're getting those flashy ups, sometimes you're just not in a good position. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that is the real thing is how can they we know they're going to get opportunities and have good sets. It's what's they're finishing at. If their finishing is at a high enough level, they should be able to overcome any other serve ball-esque hurdles that we're worried about.
Will be interesting. I mean, and I'm just, and we can get into talking about contender as well, but just in general this year, like there's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of upsets and a lot of like openness this year. There's not a clear number one and number two going into this. Even like, boisterous. Like, I mean, Caleb and Coleman having a poor finishing in Kentucky a few weeks ago, like, like I feel like the door is wide open and it's not clearly like, hey, this is his number one team. And even Preston's been playing a lot of pickleball. I don't know how much roundnet he's been playing. So it'll be interesting. Like, will there be a number one? Is the door open or is it just going to be like a revolving door all year?
Well, that's like going into, I mean, for our nationals, getting these pro bids by the end of the season, we could be like, our pro bracket is not who we thought it was going to be, because teams either had a great day and played well and they snuck in, or they just kind of surprised people that weren't expecting them to do well through the season. So it could shape up to be something totally new to us, which I think it has its cool elements, but some players that we would have expected to be there could be sitting on the sidelines come nationals in terms of pro division.
Yeah.
It's also the other change is it is only your top 3 results. So you have less going into it. Before it would be 5.
I think Nora posted today and it's 4.
4 is for elite, but for pro division, pro division.
My mistake.
Okay. Is 3, I believe. So that is even the pro division will be even more shook up because it's about peak finishes in 2 very different ways. One, you have a kick-ass day and just find yourself in 2nd or 3rd. You're in. And then separately, when teams only have 3 results, like you can get carried by a good result much more because it's harder to make that up, or just have 3 solid finishes, 3 top 4 finishes, you're probably in.
Yeah.
And I think it will definitely shake it up. I think it's really interesting the case you say where maybe, for some reason a team qualifies now and then a lot of people just pass them over the year. And it's like, all right, they're in here. When they get to it, like Shaun, you in 2019, you won the first tour stop of the year with Jarrett, right? You played one other event all year. With this rule, you could have just plopped right in. Like, yep,
rolled
I'm
up
here.
to nationals and people would be like, who is this guy? And that could very well happen this year, where these teams just sort of get in early. They beat that rush towards the end that I think we're going to see of people needing that bid and going to the later tournaments. But those are going to be a lot more competitive than this 8-team premier tournament.
Right.
To start the season.
I wonder how many people, if we'll ever see near the later of the season, like some late night flights, late night signups. Like, all right, let's see the strength. Let's see the strength. Okay, we're in. We're gonna do it. We're gonna sign up right at midnight try to get in.
And now too, wow, I lost my train of thought. So,
and now too.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna see as much of like every event. It's like, hey, like, CS was going like they're gonna win. Like now a team, once they get the pro bid, like how much I'm gonna be interested in how much incentive they have to go to more events and like win more events. Like there are, because of less events, like there's higher cash prizes. So I know that is still motivation for a lot of the top teams, but like how much are we gonna see just like the same dominant team, if there is one, going to multiple events?
Right.
So
like in the case that Boisterous is the number 1 team and stays throughout, they could have 5 of the 20 bids, right? Or they're like, okay, we went to 3 events, we got first each time. That probably pretty much locks us in for the 1 seed. Let's just chill for the rest of the season. Like 1 season, CS didn't go to regionals because they didn't have to. They had all they needed.
Yeah. What's interesting too is like if a couple teams, a handful of teams are winning all this, taking all the bids at all these different stops, then it will come down to points. And unless teams are traveling and still putting in the work there, that could get pretty thin as far as how far down that point list we go to reach 16 or 20. I guess 16 would be the bigger gap, but people might find themselves not even feeling like they're close to the point total, but make it to the top.
That'll always be more interesting. Like, oh, this team's pretty much kind of in there, you know, or we might see the opposite where a team doesn't get a bid, but maybe they just like place third tomorrow and like play one other tournament, and they come the end of the season, they're like, oh, we weren't planning on playing nationals together, but like we're in the top 16.
Yeah. Shoot, now I feel like I need to find a partner and do this year. If you're listening to this and you're good, let me know.
Thanks for the qualifier.
Yeah.
I was about to hit you up.
Yeah, hey Mike, I'll play a tournament with y'all, and we'll see how we qualify. And then
I'm not Premier.
You're not Premier?
No.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
I gotta maintain my Premier this year.
I know.
So
let's talk about Premier. Let's go down, although we could talk about that forever. The contender division. So the deal with the contender division is the top 4 teams will make Premier. This one is one to look at, most notably because Gabe Finocchi is playing, and many think he is very, very much Premier level. And so looking to make it, as well as Volley Llamas, who a lot of people also think is Premier level and maybe a pro division team this year. So both lacking Premier, and failure to get top 4, which I do not think would happen, right? Just again sets them back more point opportunities, really. Like that's the bigger incentive to get Premier. Is Premier points are only, the contender gets points, but it's way less. So the sooner that they can get in Premier, the sooner they can start to grab some points.
And you can't qualify with a Premier partner as well. So you can't just find like one of your solid friends who's Premier and do it. And granted, I mean, a lot of these people have solid people to play with, but that will be an interesting way to do it. And like this, I mean, I don't think we've ever seen anyone get Premier and win a tour stop in back-to-back events. But this could be the year we see it. It's certainly a possibility with all the circumstances.
There was some speculation if Premier didn't get if the divisions combined, it's like if that happened, would there be a chance where a team gets Premier and gets a pro bid all in one, which would be pretty crazy.
Just rags to riches.
Yeah.
Even back-to-back tour stops would be, I mean, I'd love to see that. Some teams just super hot.
We're here for it.
That would be incredible.
So I think going back, this is another thought that came up is I know this is a smaller event. I hear Texas and Erie are going to be pretty big. Do you think some teams are kind of scared to put themselves out there at this first event? I think a lot of people may be nervous of like, okay, we're back. We want to do well. Are we ready for this?
Do you mean in contender or just in general? Like
I think in Premier.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, I know for me, someone's always playing competitively. There's a little bit of that in me, and that's mostly just because I've been a little bit more out of the game than I usually am. And so it's like, man, like I don't just want to like go back and like get crushed. Like I feel like I need to do it more. So I imagine that there's a lot of people who like, have played somewhat, but like there's a lot of people who've been grinding. And so there's a lot of people in that middle zone who are like, okay, I want to play, but it's like I feel like I almost lost a season. And so I bet there is a good amount of that in there.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of everything. Just the first tournament's coming back. It's going to be a slow start and people getting used to the new world and kind of the regulations with that. But I'm sure once we get into swing of things and stuff starts coming out, it'll pick up.
It's like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of momentum right now. And I think once the season gets going, it'll feel like we never stopped, and that momentum will be running again, and the storylines will be developing, and we'll be talking about teams. But I think, it just doesn't feel like it's happening yet, just because it's just like everything's coming fast. So it'll be.
I think once we've given away 4 to 6 pro bids, the Premier teams will start to kind of wake up and be like, wait, we gotta get on top of this if we want to have a chance.
It's a bit of abbreviated season this year, right? A late May start, given it is going to late September, but that's much shorter than it has been in many years past.
Yeah, that's a good point because it feels like like the season would already be halfway through, but it's like it feels like we're not having a season because generally the season would have started months ago. So that's a good.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought too, Logan. What's happening? Shaun, you got to lose your train of thought next.
Yeah, Shaun, you're next.
I just think, and now I'm just saying words to try to find my sentence somewhere. I think it's been feeling a little realer because we've had some team announcements coming out. Dewey Disciples last night, highly calculated, and some others which I cannot share, but that's just some insider PR info. But it's starting to feel more real seeing that. I'm excited for all that stuff to come out, and when we have the list will be very interesting. When we just look at who's playing, because I looked back at the last power ranking, March 2019 preseason. We didn't even get a regular one. Sad. Only 3 teams on that top 25 are returning.
Wow.
Like we're getting a whole new smorgasbord of teams, which I think is pretty cool.
Like I couldn't even name 25 teams that I know are going to be consistent partners this year anyway. So
I don't know if I can name 10.
That's the thing. Yeah. They're going to slowly form. Yeah. A lot of people like to get 1 or 2 tournaments in them before they announce it. It is kind of, it's interesting when I get these people telling me these are their partners. And it's funny to me sometimes thinking about like how casually it can be to find a partner. Like you just talk about it and you do it, and it is serious, but it's not like I think Naughty, right, was planning on playing together, or at least had thought about it when they played months ago, right? Like, right, you would think like they played together and they were like, that was pretty good, let's play the season together. They kind of were already talking about it, and maybe that helped. But so for so many people, they just make partners in their head. Maybe they do pick up with them, maybe they don't, but that's a really interesting aspect of it, where not that teams are going to break up, but a lot of times they put their faith that the partnership will work out.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a fun development over the year. If there are teammate breakups or something happens, maybe there's a teammate breakup because of a pro division bid. And then
I feel like that's definitely going to happen. I mean, like someone plays just like a mashup with someone, gets top 2, and then and then it's like, okay, do I stick with the same person just so we can build up points since we already have the bid, or should I switch and try to get it with who I was originally playing with?
Yeah, that'll definitely be a big storyline this year.
And then it's like, if Mike and I qualify at this first tournament, but my regular partner is Logan, and I'm playing tournaments with Logan the rest of the season, is Mike just sitting there like hoping we don't get a bid?
Yeah. Well, I literally was saying about that. Like, I mean, like if you look in the tournament, like, like Frederick and Coleman are playing together. Like if they get top 2, Frederick's a competitive guy, so he's going to want to get it with anyone he plays with. But like, maybe it's like hey, Rito boys, they just fail to achieve what everyone's expected, and it's like, hey, I'm in. But I don't think that's going to happen at all. No. But it will be something interesting to look at all season.
Yeah. All right. Let's we're going to move on. Although it's not really a kind of move on. Andrew just asked for some takes, and we've already got some. But let's try to think of some. Probably should have
not just some takes. He wanted some hot takes.
He wanted the spiciest takes. I think that makes for some good clickbait. Not so bad that they're like Ian Timmon level, but but up there.
I don't know how hot this is. How many people have won a national championship? Is it 6?
It is.
Hey, you have less people to count than us, so it should be easier for you. We got to
It
count
is-
one extra.
It is 6.
I just got what you're saying, Logan. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm a hot take maybe. I don't think anyone who's won a national championship before will win again. I think it's gonna be 2 new people.
So you're saying you don't think Preston's gonna win?
Yeah, I just realized it's not that hot. But
No,
I guess,
Troy Mock, sneaky, gonna come back.
but also we don't know what's gonna happen with CS. Maybe they could be in the mix.
I
Not
heard
them
some. I heard some
together, but
rumors. I heard some rumors.
they could still be in the mix in some shape or form. So I think it's a Luke. It's kind of hot. It's a little
Right.
hot.
Yep.
It's,
PJ played a tournament last weekend.
He did.
Yep. I think that's interesting. And I was recently thinking about my take a couple episodes ago where I said, it's going to be the Caleb era. And I'm just wondering, someone had commented on one of my videos and said Ryder's the best player in the world with the new rules. And I'm like, what is happening here? I guess we have no real answer. It's all speculation until everyone plays in tournament. But I don't have a take, but I just remember being like, am I wrong by a lot? Especially seeing Caleb and Coleman, lose. I was like, am I wrong? What's going on here?
I feel like I don't really have a hot take. I mean, like, I feel like my hot take was Naughty not being top 3 at Premier or at Florida, but
That'll just get the OGs mad at you.
I don't want the OGs. That's all I have. Like,
You're not even an OG.
I'm not even. Don't even. I don't have any clout with the new guys. And now if I turn the OGs against me, I'm just floating in the middle.
You're just the old taser geezer.
Yeah, I'm just the old taser geese. I'm that one guy that's old and not even in Texas right now. So, let's see if I can think of a hot take in the next 5 seconds. I just need more teams. I got to hold off hot takes. Like, the season's got to get started. As the season heats up, I can probably throw my takes on there and let them warm up a little.
It's gonna come quick.
Yeah, well, you're saying you're not informed enough, or you just don't even know what to take about.
It's like, it's not even that I'm not informed enough. It's like, I just want to make a hot take, an arbitrary hot take for the sake of it. Like, I need some.
That's what we're here for, Logan.
Yeah, that's true. That's what talking heads are for.
That's what we were asked.
I mean, like, the only hot take I can think of, and I don't love this hot take, is I could just say Naughty won't make pro bid until second half of the season.
You just got something for Naughty right now.
I don't. That's why I didn't want to give this hot take. That's why I didn't want to give it. But
how do you feel about you? What about Utah teams? When are they getting bids?
I don't remember my take, but
you said they won't make top 4 or top 8.
I think I said top 8 because I don't think top 4 wasn't as hot, but I said top 8. But if there's all there had to be was one Utah team at this tournament, that would have been wrong.
Yeah.
All right, I got a hot take playing off of what we talked about earlier. At least one team who gets a pro bid will have started the season without premier status.
Oh yeah. I'm going to jump on that with my hot take, which is what I already said. A player will get premier and win a tour stop in back-to-back events. That's my take.
I think, truthfully, I think there will be. The question is how many people will get premier and pro bids in the same season.
You think there'll be more?
So
I think so. I mean,
Hilltop
Hilltop is
Ryder,
not premier.
That's true. I'm forgetting how many people lost premier.
Volley Llamas. We got Gabe right now. Ryder. A lot of non-premiers.
Oh, how about this? Here's another hot take. We're just spitting them out there. There will be more players who weren't premier to start the season in Pro Division than there were who were premier. How's that for a hot take?
That's pretty hot.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be great. That's that's what 20 players would have been not premier to start the season.
I think my take will be that there will be a finals match in which both games are bigger wins than 21-10. I think at some point I think this year there is going to be, even more than ever, maybe not CS with other people because they had some pretty crazy wins. I think some tiers are going to really start to form. And there's probably going to be, maybe it's one team, maybe it's a crew of teams that are just so good that, we come to an event that's a little less skilled. They'll just kind of wipe you with it.
You think a finals match, 21-10?
So that was the hot part. I think like a semis totally, but I think there could be a finals where a team is just, I think I'm trying to say like, I think teams, like there's going to be a group of teams or one team that is just like the absolute peak and can just kind of run it.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. I think especially like the new rule, like I think of the old rules, it was so easy just to get into a rhythm, which could sometimes make it harder to break away. But I think, and with the new rules, all you have to do is have one team who just like can't get into that rhythm and another one who like is just grooving. And I think that can create some real disparity in a game. So I definitely can see that happen. Maybe we'll see a 21-0 in the finals.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, right, even close games, right, or not even, if you could beat someone like 21-17, you could be like, yeah, we crushed them, right? Yeah. Because it's so easy to put the ball away. Sure. Given it's not crazy hard, but it's harder. So giving less of those points, you have more chance for those big blowouts.
I think that's a little too hot for me.
A little too hot. I believe there was like a 21-7 finals back in 2017.
Yes, Golden Set?
CS Golden Set.
Yeah.
That was after CS lost their only tournament of the year, come out with like a 21-7 victory, given Sand.
Yeah.
Given Sand. And Golden Set winning 2 crazy matches to make the finals. So no shade on Golden Set. Actually, like being in that finals was like an absolute unbelievable day. They got that pro bid.
Man, there were some hot takes today. So I don't know if throughout the season our takes will get less hot because I feel like we had some hot ones today. But
I think the only reason the takes are hot is because we're just uninformed.
Yeah, we just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, not uninformed on our own fault. Like we're ignorant on purpose, willfully ignorant.
My hope is that there's some really good juicy storylines this season that we can really talk about and discuss, because I know Dylan has talked about it as well. Yeah. And like I know lots of people feel this way. It's like we just want more like storylines and discussion and like, a little bit of drama, just to kind of add it and like, get all the ESPN Phil, the Sports Center talking about it all, the breaking news. So
I think we're gonna have some heat this year. I think we're gonna have some serious rivalries. One thing that came to mind was there are some players that like to damage some sets. We could definitely have some drama with those players being DQ'd from the tournament, which could be something. I have a feeling that we're gonna have some rivalries this year. I think it's with the game being pushed, it's just so competitive and people really, really want to do well. And I'm excited for that. I kind of want to mention, although, you can only infer, if there was some sort of drama this week, if you saw it, Travis Core, he announced, I'm not going to say it, you can look into it yourself. He announced his team name was Sloppy Seconds, didn't announce his partner. You can maybe try to figure it out. I'm not going to say anything, but we're starting the season with some drama. It's hard to tell how much it is in jest and how much if it is actual beef, but we're off to a pretty good start.
Well, if it's a Sloppy Joe and those Sloppy Seconds, probably a lot of beef.
Yeah, a lot of beef and a lot of salt. So that's all I'll say about that, but we're off to a pretty good start.
That's true. Man, I'm excited. This is good. This got me feeling more like it's season time, Tis the season, as they say.
Kicking off. Can't wait for our next podcast, and we have to digest everything that we got wrong on this one.
We'll do an emergency podcast Sunday night just to debrief.
I'll release a immediate video apologizing to Naughty when they get top 3.
Let's make a fun little wager to end this, Logan. Who would you pick above Naughty?
Naughty would probably be my 4. So
who's your 3?
my 3 is, I'll just give my 1, 2, 3 here. My 1, 2, 3 would probably be, I'm gonna go with Coleman Frederick at 1, Robbie Dan at 2, Noah and Garrett at 3, and then Naughty at 4.
I bet you $5 Naughty does better than Noah and Garrett.
Sure. Shaun loves it.
Shaun's a big better.
Sure. Let's do it. Why not?
All right. Lock it in.
As long as it's a crypto bull market, I'll make those $5 bets with you.
That's funny. I will happily avoid conflict and not share my top 3, my top 4.
So yeah, someone's got to jump into conflict, and I guess that's me. So
That's you. Anyway, I will plug. It'll feel even more like the season because there will be a little season preview coming out by Andrew Card this week, as well as next week the PR. So those hopefully will make it feel a little more real.
Not a preseason PR.
No preseason PR because the preseason PR would be exactly what we're doing right now,
Yeah,
which
that's what makes it fun. I'm not going to express this because I already expressed this to you. So
I know. We're gonna have one thing. It's more just also turnaround time.
Yeah,
we will have one event's worth of data in there. So if any of those if Naughty or Highly Calculated or Volley Llamas do poorly, or really any of the players, because you can judge the players off the teams based off their players. If any of them do great or poorly, they'll get such a big jump.
Oh yeah.
But, Logan, can you give everyone your pro tip on how to be power ranked?
How to be power ranked?
Yeah.
Oh, you just gotta know Mike and Ezra, and they'll get you in there.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, what? Oh, T9 at every tournament or not?
No. Oh, you're killing me.
Instagram, Logan. Instagram.
Oh. Well, that's not for
remembers.
power ranking. That's just for people thinking you're good.
Oh, got it.
I mean, that's kind of what power rankings is, though. No.
Well, no, I trust Mike and Ezra a little bit more than looking at Instagram. So
it's not just me and Ezra.
It's just Mike and Ezra. Don't listen to anything Mike says. Ezra may not even be doing part of it, but it will always just be Mike and Ezra.
We may actually be doing a just Mike and Ezra PR.
It's the PR always was, always has been, and always will. Just Mike and Ezra.
It's every poll ever. It's all been a farce.
But yeah, so it's just posting your cool plays on Instagram is a good start. That's how you do it. That's how you make pro. But PR is a lot harder. So
yeah.
There you go. There's my suggestion wisdom.
Do we have any closing thoughts here?
What do they say in the Hunger Games?
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah, that's my closing thought.
That was actually my
to us. Is that to us or to players or to?
That's for it's for the players. We got. I'm spiraling quickly.
Thank you, Shaun. Anything that was your closing thought?
I don't think I can follow that up. I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Perfect. Me too. Guys, Shaun was looking at flights before, wondering if he could just swing it.
I mean, this got some pretty good odds going into this tournament. So
yeah, now that there's only 2, and like there's just a few youngsters at this tournament, so you play the season early while all these solid youngsters aren't premier yet. You got a higher shot.
So Logan and I were going to Florida.
Yeah.
See you there. All right. We'll wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Rally Podcast. As you can tell, we're really excited for the season. Hope you are too. Subscribe to the YouTube page here, SRA. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, I know there's some more fun content coming, as well as check out the SRA on Instagram. But that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.
Smash
See
that
you
like
next time.
button.
Smash that like button. Smash it. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. See you next time.